Printer in Pete's office. Oh gosh. Oh, I laughed too hard and I'm gonna black out.
Well, Chris just got whiplash a minute ago.
That really hurt. Oh, that hurt my head.
You got whiplash. You went.
Oh.
Why'd you get into a car accident while you were sitting on the couch?
Oh my word.
I just never sat on a couch before.
No, that is an opener. If I have ever seen one.
Walmart one.
No one said anything bad, so that could be our opener.
This is good. I am recording. Oh, yeah, I got her whole spirited argument. I got your passive aggressive. You guys don't have any lives, so why are you busy tonight?
You just ruined the opener. You can't say that.
I got all of that. Well, hey, everybody.
Hi, Trevor.
Why are you starting?
Normally Chris starts, but Chris was yawning. So
Yeah,
I
can we
figured
go
I'd
back
start.
to Chris starting?
No. Let Trevor have some
Why can't I do
attention. His
Philanthropist
voice sounds a little better
Trevor.
this episode.
this? Yeah.
Man, you must have recovered pretty fast in between weeks.
I went and coughed like crazy in the bathroom,
Yeah,
drank a lot of water, and called it a day.
that's cool. I'm wearing the same outfit as last time.
I changed.
Chris?
Chris, you go clubbing?
Something like that.
Well, what'd you do?
Admittance was under 5 years old.
Wow.
I was.
You're
at
definitely not that.
I was at a children's museum with my nieces.
yourself?
And
Just
nephews.
by himself.
I had her next to me. My sister has my other niece in her hand and is like, "Hey, here's the ticket." They scan the ticket. Adult, 2 children.
They called you grandpa, didn't
Points to the child. My brother and his wife get up to line with my nephew. 2 adults, 1 child. I still have my niece by her hand. I get up and scan the thing, and the lady gave me 40 questions as to why I was here alone.
That's fair.
And I was like, okay, yeah, you don't want just random people with no children walking into a children's museum. But I'm like, she's at my side. You can see her through the glass.
Was she crying?
No.
Was she screaming? and
She was
trying
way
to
too
run?
excited
Why are
to
you
be
taking
there.
me to the children's museum?
But it was one of those moments where I was like, this doesn't feel good. I'm not
Yeah.
one
I'm
of
No,
those
that's
sorry,
people.
hurtful.
Chris.
But
Hey,
You
you
need
didn't
somebody to
deserve
go to the
that.
children's museum with? I'll go with you.
Yeah, 2 grown adults going by themselves is much better.
yeah.
No, Trevor will just get down on his knees and he can hold his hand.
He cannot
Yeah.
get down and then get back up. Bad knees joke.
It's actually a good point.
Yeah.
It is pretty fun there, though. They have a miniature car wash that you walk through.
All right, I'm in.
So it is kind of fun. The floor tiles actually have gel in them, so it looks like it's soap and water.
That's pretty cool.
As you're walking over it, and then when you get to the end, the air tunnel thing turns on where the dryers
cool.
are. My nephew did not like it. Just was
poor honey.
did a 180 and was like, "I'm out of here."
I'll
I'm
be
like,
honest, Chris. I
"Come
could
on."
see you freaking out too a little bit.
No, I was okay.
Yeah, okay.
I was okay. We faced our fears together. We
Oh,
got
good.
through it.
Good
Very
job.
nice.
We did.
Do you have any
yes.
Cheez-Its or anything?
No,
Dang it.
no. I usually bring a little snacky, but it was not.
You figured you could make it this time?
I made it. Yep. Didn't have any puffs either.
Oh, my gosh.
Tough day.
Ashley, you go clubbing lately?
No.
Oh, okay.
Is that just our opener? We're just
I
gonna-
also
Hey,
showed
guys
up to
go
the
clubbing?
same children's museum just by myself.
You guys both went by
That
yourself
would make
today?
sense.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't you go clubbing lately?
My gosh, why is
No?
this your question?
I don't think so.
Huh.
Did you?
Clubbing for Jesus.
It's a church.
He was. Yeah. See, he was winding up for his own joke.
I came up with that as I was talking.
Make sure when you edit this, you put a
A laugh track.
yeah,
Oh, that's good. That's a good
like
idea.
a good studio laugh where it's so fake that you're clearly no one.
Like a Disney Channel laugh track.
Yes,
Because Nickelodeon, they're
yes.
okay, but Disney's like,
yeah, yeah.
I went clubbing in my own living room at about 2 a.m.
oh,
with a friend of mine, just bopping to worship music.
that's fun.
It's-
At 2 a.m.?
So why didn't you answer that when I asked the question?
It was all a blur.
Usually.
Cool. So let's dive into today's question, which has nothing to do with clubbing, but
Clubbing for Jesus.
Or does it have everything to do with it?
It might. I mean, so today's question kind of has been posed to us by a couple of people that have submitted questions to the podcast. But what's the big deal with Christianity in the church?
Like, just overall, what's the big deal?
Yeah, like what's the big deal with that? Like why?
It's a big deal.
We'll break it down. So the first question
Saw that coming.
is, why should I trust Christianity when Christians mess it up so badly? Which I'm sure none of us think that Christians mess this up so badly, do they?
Yeah,
I've
no
never
comment.
met a non-perfect Christian. Just kidding.
That's a good question, though.
I think Christianity is more than the people that it is. Christianity is what Christians follow.
Yeah.
And so just because somebody says that they follow something doesn't mean that they are the example to live by and follow. So you're looking and putting your hope in something that isn't actually the ultimate thing. Would be a quick answer.
Yeah, and I would say we're human, too. Like, people who go to church are still human. They do still make mistakes, and, some mistakes are bigger than other ones, so I don't want to sugarcoat that either. There are things that happen that are very questionable and bad. But at the end of the day, like, we are also humans who don't know everything, and who mess up from time to time. So, yeah. Yeah.
Can you restate the question again?
Put it in a sentence.
Just like specific. Can you just read it again?
Why should I trust Christianity when Christians mess it up so badly?
Okay. It's interesting because, like, if you were to say, like, why should I trust Christians? I'd be like, you should be cautious who you're trusting because, like, we've talked about, like, people are imperfect. But when you say, like, why should I trust Christianity? I feel like it's a little bit deeper because, like Trevor said, like, the belief in following Christ itself, like, that is the only, like, solid thing we can follow. So I guess just being really intentional in what you're putting your time and focus and attention and trust in. Because, like, yeah, the people in the system itself can be broken, but putting your trust wholly and completely in Christ is where we should be putting our focus in.
Do you guys feel like Christianity... I have a couple of hot takes, but I want to see what you guys think before I get canceled.
I
But-
love Chris's hot takes.
That should be a segment.
It should be.
Oh, okay.
Do we react to
That
them,
will
though,
get
or
us
is it just him
canceled.
spitting
Well, it
them?
depends on the hot take.
It'll get us canceled so quick.
Okay.
You
Anyways.
reacting to them? Or
No, your hot
the
takes.
segment. Oh.
Just Chris's hot takes. Okay, what are they?
Do we think that Christianity, like, is actually definable? Like, so let me expound on that.
Uh-huh.
Please do.
Your stunned grins make me think I should.
I'm not smiling.
So we all know that there's numerous denominations, right? All of them have doctrinal differences, some small, some large, some in common with other denominations, some not. But would you say that, pick a denomination, would you say, Presbyterian, Baptist subscribes to the ultimate doctrine of Christianity? Like, is Christianity in and of itself its own doctrine? Or have we kind of societally labeled Christians and their movement Christianity? Have we placed a name on something that actually might not even hold up to a firm definition?
I think that's really interesting. I see what you're
Because
saying.
if you look at Acts and you go through the Bible, the early followers of the way, which is what they called it, the way, there wasn't mention of Christianity or Christians. And then I forget what verse it is, but it says
Acts 11:26.
the believers there were, at that time, was the first time they were called Christians. But, and someone would have to check me, where the term Christianity
Came after that.
is in the
Yeah.
Bible. I don't know if it's in the Bible.
later developed as the movement grew, and they needed a name to describe their beliefs, community practices, in the worldview centered on Jesus. So Christianity isn't what Christians follow. Christianity came out of what Christians did.
Okay.
And I think when you think of the word Christian, it means little Christ. And so that's where it should be coming from. We're all going to fall short of looking like Christ, but he has grace for us. And so the question then doesn't become, should I follow Christianity? The question should be, is God calling me to be a Christian, to be like him? Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And if I think that there's something hindering me or a person hindering me, what did they do? What did they say? Where's my offense?
I don't know if you I feel like the question should almost be reframed, because why should I trust Christianity when Christians mess it up so bad? Well, I'm not asking you to trust Christianity. I'm asking you to trust Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Do your part
Because-
not to mess it up.
Right.
Right.
So, like, I mean, you could put that to anything, right? Like, why do I trust fill in the blank? I don't know if you should trust fill in the blank, whatever your fill in the blank is, because it's not, Jesus didn't say, here is Christianity, follow it and trust it.
Mm-hmm.
He said, follow me,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Now you could debate this. This is not like hardcore doctrinal theological conversation, because some could extrapolate that Christianity takes its purest origin form from Jesus's words, follow me, right? Others would say, well, man has muddied the waters as we've gone through these thousands of years since Jesus was here. But I think sometimes we, like with a question like this, we can focus on the wrong thing, missing the point of like, well, I didn't ask you to put blind trust in like a movement of faith.
Yeah.
I asked you to put your trust in a person.
Right.
Now, all the other things can be questioned and debated, and
Right.
that's where faith comes in. It's assurance of things hoped for, things unseen. Like,
Yeah.
we need to work out our salvation with fear and trembling. I'm spitting scripture, and I'm not following up with what the scriptures are. But, like, the Bible is clear about these things. And so sometimes I wonder if we miss what the actual thing we should be focusing on is.
Right. Well, and I think
Hot
that
take.
part of that comes, I don't know if that was that hot, though. That was like a warm take. I feel.
Well, don't be lukewarm.
Microwaved.
Yeah. But like for like 4 minutes or so.
3.5.
Okay.
I did not talk that long.
No, he's saying
8
microwave
minutes.
for 3
Oh.
minutes.
Okay.
No, I think that that is a good thought overall. But that's where like the different like rings of issue come in. Not issues, but like different denominations do things differently, and some have focuses on other areas where it's not specifically like, it doesn't say in the Bible to do certain things specifically the way that some denominations do them, like with the importance of it. Like if you are a Christian church and you are following Christ, then that should be the focus of it. Knowing the gospel and following the gospel specifically should be the main thing that you're focusing on as a Christian. There are other things that come after that, but as long as we are following the gospel, we're following who Jesus is, who he told us to be, what he told us to do, that's, I think, where the importance comes in. And if you're like holding to that, that's going to then be such a good example for the people around you when you are truthfully and genuinely living out what it is that he's called us to do, to go into the different nations and preach to people who don't know him by talking about him. So I think we get lost in like those side things of like, well, this has now gained more importance than Jesus has, and now I'm losing sight of who Jesus is. Does that make sense?
We also excuse it for a lot of other people. Like, so we look at Christians and go, well, this one's a bad one, so therefore they're all bad. That's not true. But like, look at in politics. I don't want to get too into politics, but like, I've met some really crazy people who believe their beliefs, and they're like crazy on the right side, on the left side. That's not everybody.
Yeah.
I've met people who are maybe they're more in the middle. Maybe they're like, oh, like actually I can have a conversation with you about
Right.
something, or sports fandom. Like, to lump all sports fans of like this. I've had one bad interaction with this whatever
Lions
fan, not Lions fan, Packers fan.
Yeah.
Therefore, all Packers fans are terrible, and it's because of the team. The team's fault is now that those people are bad. It's like, well, that's not right. Like,
Right.
The Packers winning or not winning does not equate that person being a good person or a bad person or doing
Sure.
a good job being a fan.
Right.
I just had that's who that person is, and like they've not grown enough to be emotionally mature, and so we'll excuse it for fandom, we'll excuse it for politics, we'll excuse it for whatever. But when it comes to Christianity, we'll go, well, I had a bad interaction with a Christian, so therefore God can't be good, or evil exists, so therefore God can't be good.
Sure. Yeah.
We're just looking for an excuse, but we'll let all the other excuses go for everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
I've been waiting to use that one.
Me too.
Man, I was just going to say that.
You were not.
I was.
Chris, I know that motto came out
leaving
when
him
you were
hanging.
young, so
It was
know.
nowhere on
You're
my
leaving him
radar.
hanging. He was going for
sorry.
a.
Okay. So with what you were saying, Trevor, I was thinking about like how crucial that is when we are like walking with someone and discipling someone and straight up acknowledging that like we as a body of people, like we are going to fail. We are going to be sinful. We are going to make mistakes. We're probably going to have days where we aren't the greatest representation of Christ. And I think that needs to be like upfront that like, hey, we're not perfect, but like looking for an excuse of like, oh, you know, I'm kind of like toying with it. One person does me wrong and I'm like, I'm out. And then we're done with it. But I think some people just like, they have bad experiences. And then it's, that realization of like, oh, well, maybe this just isn't for me because this one person didn't represent it well. And so I think it's like, it's good to like have it be a part of the conversation. Like, you know what? There are people that aren't the best representation of it, and we're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But like, then turning the attention on like, okay, but like, God doesn't, and like the Jesus that saved us because we're broken, but He's the one that's perfect and beautiful and makes us whole. Like, I think we just can't shy away from the conversation. We have to acknowledge the brokenness and the sin of the world and
Yeah.
not just like glaze over it because no one wants to talk about it.
And it's not in a. We're not having that conversation to excuse behavior, right? Because again, like you can have that same tension where you're like, oh, yep, you said that, so like that's just a free pass for you to start treating me incorrectly or whatever it might be. Like we don't ever want to have that conversation for that reason. And yet there is a very real part of that is true, right? And I think deep down, if you really got to the root with a lot of people of like sports teams and politics and all the things, I think deep down people realize it's probably shaky foundation. They probably it'd take some coaxing, but you could probably get people to a point where they're like, all right, yeah, I'm not going to put my full trust in the sports team or that one fan.
We're still learning that here in Buffalo.
Yeah, we are. But it gets that much harder when, again, I think deep down people know, all right, this faith thing, this God claims to be perfect. This Jesus claims to be perfect. And so the stakes do get a little higher, right? Because it isn't just the one-for-one comparison anymore. You know, Jesus versus sports. It's like, okay, well, we can acknowledge that sports fandom comes and goes and waxes and wanes, whatever. But if we truly are continuing over thousands of years to say that Jesus is perfect, then yeah, I guess you could argue that the reason people have such a hard time with trusting it and watching these people who are supposed to be representations of Christ screw it up, I can get there in my mind where it is tough to have that thought. And I think it's helpful for Christians to get there in their mind because all of us were on a very different path at one point in our life. Even if we grew up in church, there's still a point where it was like, hey, I need to make this mine. And sometimes you'll find that people who grew up in church didn't make their faith their own. And so it gets into this weird faith thing anyway.
Yeah.
But looking back at our own stories kind of helps to answer this question a lot more gracefully. It's like, yeah, Christians do screw it up. They screw it up a lot. I can't explain every single thing that's been messed up. I can't explain what may have happened to you at a church or a church camp or a VBS or a Sunday school, or you name it, right? People have had church hurt that comes in all shapes and sizes and looks all different kinds of ways. But we still can look to the author and perfecter of our faith. We can look to the word and we can say, but this, my own story, as broken and as messed up as I am, this God has never let me down.
Right.
And cool story, actually driving in to the studio today, like my friend called me, him and his wife went through a very tragic period about a month and a half ago. They lost their premature son. And he was like, hey, I need to talk to a friend today. We were talking just about grief and just the waves that these things come in. And one thing he said to me, it stuck out so crystal clear. He was like, Chris, never in this process has God's goodness been on trial. And I was like, okay, I can't talk. Like, I'm not going to be able to say anything. Because if you think through that, you think through these deep, like, dark times, the dark night of the soul that all of us will have at some point in life, to be able to proclaim that is the reason that this question is like, yes, you can trust this God.
Right.
Because that unshakable faith, that unshakable foundation was there. And even in the midst of questioning why did this happen to me? And I this just feels so unfair and this doesn't feel right. And why did this happen? Whatever it could be, still I will say, but he is good.
But it has to be for ourselves. That's really good because
Yeah.
if it's through somebody else, we're going to lose it.
Right.
Yeah.
Just got through where Moses went and got the 10 Commandments. And like the Israelites were like, this God is lit. Like he just rescued us. He did all these things. Like this is great. Moses goes away. And like immediately, because their faith was not founded in God himself, it was founded in the faith that Moses had, or at least more so. And so you took Moses out of the equation and they were like, we're screwed. What's going to happen now?
Idle time.
And then they took all their gold and they made it into an idol and they took their possessions and then worshipped that instead because they could control that.
Yeah.
And Moses comes down and he's obviously pissed. He's like, what are you guys doing? But if our faith is founded in somebody else, or if it's only because somebody else is having a good time or only because somebody else is strong in their faith,
Sure.
that person could move away. That person could tragically pass away. That person could not be your friend. Like situations change. So is your faith in God or is it through somebody else? And that's shaky soil.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, going back to what you've been saying about like church hurt and stuff like that, I think it's interesting because I know the four of us on stage very well, and I know that there have been things that have happened in all of our lives that we could have stuck to and been like, specifically in the church, like hurt that has come from a church that could have detrimentally changed the way that we are responding to things and even relationally, like. But I think what's so important about the way that each of the situations that happened were handled is like we have found our hope in Christ. At the end of the day, like people suck, stuff happens, and like humans are human, but God is still good. And if you're rooting yourself in him, then that pain and that hurt is something that you can overcome over time. And it might not be an easy fix. A lot of times you have to talk to people and like get help further than in yourself. But I think when you are rooted in Christ, it is something that he can deliver you from that pain that you're feeling. So that's all.
It's a good question. It's a good thing to dig into. So the second question that was posed that kind of goes with this is, let's just keep batting 1,000 here. Is church even necessary?
Ooh.
Do we feel that church is even necessary?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Okay, what's the next question?
That's it.
Just kidding. I guess.
Why?
Yeah. I mean, my first question, they can't answer it, but why would you say that it's not necessary?
Sure.
Now, some of the arguments could be, I can read the Bible on my own. The church is the people, not the building. So then I guess the question is, are you viewing the church as the people? Or are you viewing it as a building? A building's a great way to gather people. But yes, I would say church is necessary because it's God's plan. Like, he loves the church so much. Like, he's very clear about that. Like, a marriage is supposed to replicate the love that Christ has for the church, which is the people. But you can't do life alone. You're going to fail. You're going to fall apart because it's not possible. It's not how we're designed.
Yeah. Yeah. I have heard a lot of people say, church isn't necessary. I have my own relationship with God. People have messed up that relationship every time that I've walked into a church, all these things. And so it breaks my heart because, like, again, without getting like deeply theological, if you have made the decision to follow Christ, your salvation is set, right? Like, you're a daughter or son of the King.
Yeah.
I do believe that things like, so it's clear in Acts and it's clear throughout the Bible, like the gathering of people is good and necessary and right.
Yeah.
Right. They all came together, giving of their possessions, sharing with one another, eating meals together, praying, whatever you say, whatever the Bible says. Not you.
No.
Whatever you say.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. So sometimes when people are like, well, church isn't necessary, I've got my own relationship with God, it kind of just breaks my heart because, yeah, there's a piece of this that you are to have a personal relationship, right? But you're missing out on so much more.
Yeah.
And the true, like, abiding fruit that can come from being in community with people. I don't know. It's I don't think it's going to destroy your relationship, but
Yeah.
But there's other pieces to it and other facets of being in a relationship with Christ as well, because most likely you're missing out on the serving aspect too.
Sure.
Which is a
Yeah.
big thing that we're called to do as followers of Christ, because you have people coming in on Sundays who don't know Jesus.
Yep.
Where if you're the first face that they see and you're greeting, like something as small as greeting, it can be detrimental to somebody where they feel comfortable now to come into an environment that they may not feel comfortable coming into, like as it is. And
to which I would say greeting is nothing small at all.
right.
Any
sure.
any part of the
That's why I did
Bible
this.
is like a big deal.
100%.
because it's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's one aspect, and that's just one. You have the other part of, like, you just see your friends on Sunday. Make
Right.
friends. Say hi to your friends at church.
Yep.
Like, you have people that you can go with to church to grow closer to them, because at the end of the day, it is a people. It's not just the building you're going to.
Yeah.
You could meet up with a bunch of people in the parking lot and start a church there, and it's still filling that part of what church can be.
Yep.
To the ends of the earth. And it's like, okay, fine. How can they have church? Well, they should be connected to a church and having a church support them. And so, like, church is necessary for them to fund what they're doing or to
Yeah.
support them or lift them up in prayer. Chris has a church at his house every Monday night, upstairs and in the basement. Like, that is church. I love what we do here with the lights and everything, but if that were all stripped away, we would still have church. We would still have worship. We would still preach the gospel, and that is necessary because you can't just go to the gym and only work out one part of your body and expect to be healthy. You need community. You need worship. You need the word. You need all of these things together to actually help us become Christians. So that way when people look at us, they don't go, well, why would I even follow Christianity? They're an unhealthy person. They actually work together. The church is what equips the saints to go and be Christians and to go into all the nations, to go to the ends of the earth, to do what God has called us to.
Good analogy.
It's a public service announcement for Don't Skip Leg Day.
Or upper. Some people skip upper.
Yeah, I think more people skip leg day,
I'm
though.
saying some people do.
Sure.
Trevor does. His shoulder hurts all the time.
And my knees.
Well, yeah,
Everything
I mean,
always hurts Trevor.
Yeah.
there's a healthy line where you probably should skip upper body if your shoulder's killing you. You
It's not
could
killing,
you
just
could
hurts.
exasperate the problem.
Yeah. Anyways. Ashley, what do you think?
I have a thought rolling around from what you had shared before. It kind of jumped over to the chair people over here.
People.
I don't remember exactly what you said, but I think it was, so correct me, I believe it was like, in this thought process of like, oh, I don't like have to go. I think you had said that like, oh, it might not be like detrimental to your faith. Was that what you had said? Like if you are in
Yeah,
that
like
mindset.
you're not going to lose your relationship. You're not going to lose your salvation. I guess was kind of
if you
don't go.
don't go. Yeah. So like I do understand that and like believe that, but I very well think that like eventually you can. Like I think that it's almost like that thought of like being like 1 degree off, that like for a while it won't seem like much of a difference, much of a change, much of a separation, but I think eventually like so many people that are in that camp have that thought process that like, oh, the people are broken and they've hurt me, that I think it can spread and like consume and create bitterness, and like that I think eventually will damage like your relationship and
I
skew
agree.
things. Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think for the black and white thinkers, you know, no, I guess if the question was posed, do you need to go to church to be a Christian? Let's pose that question. Let's not pose is church necessary. I think we all agree church is necessary. If you pose the question, do you have to go to church to be a Christian? I think a black and white answer is, well, no, you don't have to. To the same mindset, does the Bible specifically say, do not live with your boyfriend or girlfriend before you get married? No. Is it wise for all the other things in Scripture that point to the wisdom in relationships for you to do that?
Yeah.
No. And so the answer to that would be like, it actually would probably be really good if you don't do that. So when you come back to the, can I still be a Christian and go to church or not go to church?
Sure.
Well, sure. But again,
It's not
does
wise
the
not to.
Bible speak to all these other
Yeah.
things as to what makes you as a Christian a flourishing member of the kingdom? So yes, black and white could be one answer, but then
Sure.
when you get into the rest of Scripture and how that connects, get to church.
Yeah.
Like, be a part
That's
of
Chris's
church.
PSA.
Because like the
Get
opposite
to
would
church.
be, if you are connected to church, how likely are you to stop being a Christian? Versus if you,
Yeah.
oof, it's going. Versus if you don't go to church, how likely are you to stop being a Christian? Those odds are going to be much higher.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. They are.
Take a little sippy sip.
Well, I think I think we should dig into this. We'll probably dig into this a little deeper in some future episodes.
I hope so.
Because I feel like it led to some good, like, even follow-up questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least in my brain, that I'm like, oh, let's do another podcast.
We should title
episode
this
where
one
we talk-
episode 12 part 1.
Part 1.
No.
Okay.
Do you mind?
But we have church to go. Set
Poor Trevor, dealing with his sickness, losing his voice.
I know. It's been 2
Yeah.
weeks now.
By the time these come out, it's been 3.
Oh my gosh. Never mind. It's been
Yeah.
3 weeks.
But I feel like that's a good place for us to wrap the conversation for today.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, as always, Trevor, do you want to do?
Let's try.
You can do
No, there's no way.
Let's try.
There's no way. I was just gonna say we've got church going on tonight. I was gonna plug community nights, but
So yes, we have community night tonight at church.
Yeah, which is a great, for young adults who are listening, they happen once a month on Fridays, and they're a great time. Kind of almost like the podcast functions where we sit up here. We have special guests from time to time to talk about different topics.
Like tonight.
Yep. Breaking into small groups and just sharing questions that we can apply to our lives as young adults, and then resources to be able to continue to live that out outside of the walls of the church.
Where can they find the dates?
You can find the dates on our Instagram, which is LCB_young adults. And You can find the Here and Now podcast on, this is usually Trevor's bit, so I don't always do this. But you got YouTube, you got Apple Music, you got Amazon.
That's crazy.
I was going to say Amazon last, so you messed me up. And then we have iTunes. No, that's Apple
Spotify.
Music. Spotify.
She's the least.
I'm gonna have to do
This
this.
is why we need to get your voice
We
back,
got
Trevor.
Apple Podcasts. We got YouTube.
Oh,
We got
boy.
Spotify. We got Amazon Music.
Do we have iTunes?
So if you were able,
Is that
if you were
still
able to
around?
understand him,
Radio Shack.
Circuit City, you can find us at Best Buy. No, you cannot. But yeah, give us a listen, give us a subscribe, give us a follow, share it with a friend. It's a great way to. It's a great tool to use for conversation starters. None of us sit here and propose to be like preeminent authorities on anything that we talk about, but it is helpful to like get your friends together and like watch one of these episodes and just say like, hey, let's discuss what came out of their discussion and let's grow in our faith. So
And
it's a good,
it's great to listen to this too, but this also isn't church. Get connected to a church.
right. Get connected to a life group, get plugged into community. So it's a great thing. All right. Till next time. We hope the Trevor's voice will be back. But we'll see you guys later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye everyone.
Bye.